give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Ooh.
Okay, and we're back for race number 2 on the day, Road America. I made a mistake, it is only just over 4 miles. We're gonna go a lap around this beauty of a road course with Ron Marks, who's currently leading the practice charts. I put the track map on your left hand side there so you can kind of follow along. We've got a very long straightaway to start things off with a heavy braking zone into turn 1, going from about nearly 180 miles an hour right down to about 60. Once you get that over, this is technically turn 2 here, followed into turn 3, which is another heavy braking zone, and you got a nice long straightaway to go right up to 4th gear again. This is probably the fastest section of the racetrack, simply because there's no big uphill like on the front straightaway. But then it leads into probably the slowest part of the whole track here. That's turn 5, very sharp left-hander. We go up a small crest into turn 6, right at the peak of it. Turn 7 is going to be a nice flowing right-hand corner. Just slightly off the gas there, which leads into another 90-degree left-hander down to 2nd gear. Get some decent amount of runoff there. That leads into the very famous turn 9 carousel, which is the right-hander that just seems to be going on forever and ever and ever. That's why they call it the carousel. Leads on to the back straight, but before you hit the peak of the back straight, you got the turn 10 here, the kink. It's a very tricky right-hander, very fast, and that leads into my favorite corner of the whole track, Canada Corner. Another heavy braking right-hander. Watch the gravel trap on the left, it is very unforgiving. That leads into turn 13A and 13B there, and your final turn on the track is turn 14. Took it a little wide there, but that leads into a very long straightaway. You want to get an excellent run off of 14, because that hill kind of slows down the motors a little bit, but then you go downhill into turn 1 again. So that is a lap of Road America. You can do a lap here in just over 2 minutes time, so it's very long. But I wanted to show you guys what a lap around the longest track of the season looked like. It's a lot of fun to drive. I would love to... Ooh, we got somebody in the gravel there. One of the... Ooh, a couple accidents happening. It's going to be a very interesting race, let's put it that way. These guys can get through here quite well, but as you can see, there's not everyone can do the same. So it looks like the whole field's kind of spread out just over 2 seconds over practice, so it'll be very interesting to see how this race progresses. If there's any yellow flags, we're going to go right into qualifying now. Who's going to take the first road course pole of the season? Seb Alonso gets the pole with a 2:04.25. Dave Grubb on the outside front row. Nicholas King inside second row. Jamie Carr second row outside. And Cameron Murphy, another Avalanche Territory Racing entry in row 3 with Zach Ross in 6th. Mike Atkinson 7th. Sophie Gallagher 8th. Zane Garrett 9th, and Ethan Baker rounding out your top 10. I opted to go for a full lap drive-through instead of doing a full lap. Oh no. Ron Marks not going to take the start of this race, holding up the entire field. These guys better get a move on since it's not a full pace lap. Oh, that... poor Ron. Just really fast in practice. Mid-pack. Are these guys gonna get... Looks like everyone's gonna get caught up. As Sebastian Alonso takes us off to green flag, we now have 39 runners. And there is a big cluster going to the start here. Some cars didn't get caught up. I'm into turn 1. Sebastian Alonso rated one of the best drivers available, so Jess Hanna had to take him. Finally starting to get some momentum on this team and get some good results. Let's see how things are running after the first couple turns. Down into that very hard-braking turn 5. Looks like everyone's doing a good job so far, trying to stay off each other. 3 wide going into turn 6. Not sure how that's going to work out for some of these guys, but looks like they made it through okay. Can't believe they're actually 3 wide here and not wrecking. That's impressive. It is a traffic jam at the rear of this field. Go back to the leader. Starting to get some distance now on Grubb. They go through the kink. Get Canada corner. It looks like Ron Marks lost a piston. That was the official cause of DNF. So as I was saying, pit strategy here is about 8 laps. You could probably do it in 7 if you're gonna make 2 stops. It doesn't really matter. You're gonna have to stop twice anyway. You can just break it down into nearly 3 equal runs. But looks like Sebastian Alonso has a nice handling car. Starting to walk away on the field. The car with that very colorful ride. Murphy's struggling a little bit. Dropped a position since the start. Looks like he's about to lose another one to Gallagher. Be very interesting to see the cup cars on this track. I think this track is a lot more suited for stock car racing than Circuit of the Americas is, just for the reason being that there's a lot of heavy braking zones, a lot of not sharp 90-degree turns. No S's in this track, so nothing that requires too much finesse. Just a lot of stop and go type racing, which is always better for racing action, as well as handling on these stock cars. You don't like the carousel is easily the worst turn to take on this track for a stock car. For a sports car, it's a pain in the butt even for a sports car. So if you can imagine what it would do to the tires on these stock cars, it's hard on those good years. But do we have a slow car here, or is it just how the camera angle? It looks like the 17 car is losing a lot of time. It's falling down the order. Was 23rd last time by. Now he's running right around 29th or so. So I'm not sure if there's an issue with Anderson. Seems to be okay now. Maybe just had a bad couple turns, but lost over 10 positions that lap. I was saying on the truck race, I hope there's not a lot of cautions on this track, because it takes 2 minutes just to do a green flag lap here, and a caution lap would probably take close to 4 minutes. Yeah, it wouldn't be very fun if it was caution filled, but so far we're clean on lap 3. Nearing about halfway for a pit sequence. Looks like Sebastian Alonso's got himself a nice lead of 1.5 seconds. And the leaders are just doing what they need to do and survive the first half of this race. Get themselves in a good position to finish this bad boy. It's more of a marathon, this race. 20 laps doesn't seem like a lot, but this track is quite long. See here, the number 4 car is Zane Garrett. And a nice top 10 run going. Ethan Baker lost a position since the start of this race, but 11th is nothing too bad. We got Alfred Soto here, our last week's winner at Bristol, right up here fighting for a top 10 spot. Been a great job so far for Soto. He's carrying the team along with Grubb. Ron Marks, he's had the car to do it, just hasn't been able to put a couple good races together. See Brandon McLaughlin around 15th now, looks like he's 13th, fighting with Austin Cindric, notoriously good road racer. Makes sense that he would be up here in the mix. Surprised he's not a little higher, to be honest, but McLaughlin's going to lose that spot, and he might lose another spot here to Amy Watts. Draft definitely plays a factor on this straightaway. If you have a drafting partner, you'll easily push past somebody. See here the 92 of Turner Madden. Really shows who's good on these road courses and who's not. I mean, we're doing quite a few road courses in the Xfinity Series this year. I think got about 3 or 4. Definitely evens the playing field on different track types and whatnot. See, Hope Torres is having a uncharacteristically bad road course race so far. She's way down here in 30th place. Kind of strange to see her that far back. Just maybe a bad one-off type deal, but this is her bread and butter, these road courses, and if you can't perform on something you're supposed to be good at, it's cause for concern, I would say. Leader's just about to take lap 5, I believe. Go through the field a little bit. We got Paul Erickson, the rookie. Freddie John right up there as well. Couple of real-life drivers trailing the field. We're back up front here with Sebastian Alonso coming out of turn 4. Starting to extend his lead a little bit on Dave Grubb. Doesn't really look like the other 2 cars behind Grubb are gaining on him, but Alonso is certainly pulling away from the rest of the pack here. Of course, Grubb, the last thing he wants to see is another Avalanche territory car in front of him. When the checkered flag flies, he's getting quite tired of finishing second. See Nicholas King making up a few spots since the start of this one. I believe King is our points leader. Either first or second, I'm not 100% sure. Top 5 have stayed pretty much the same. You got a couple of Toyotas in the mix now. Got Zane Ross and Gallagher right there. 2 different teams. The first one is Galiza for Ross, and then you got Sovatek right there in 6th. This has been a great race for Chevys so far. I think the highest one is Atkinson right there in 8th position, so the Chevys are struggling on the road courses. Going through the field here, Alex Jarvie. Not his forte type track right here, but he's doing a good job in 15th. Carpentier here, who's had some excellent finishes this season so far. Like to keep that up with another top 15 run today. Dominic Hall had some good finishes. Hasn't put the whole races together, but he's usually up there. Got Cook right behind them. Had some bad luck as of late, but looking to get back on track. Still lots of regular season left. We'll be at the halfway mark at the end of this race for the regular season. So 5 races down, 5 to go. All you need to do is get in the top 12, really. Should be good. Sebastian Alonso just walking away with this one. 3-second lead over Grubb now. Get a more updated time on that. We'll see if it's extended even more now. They go up the hill. Ooh. Over 3/4 of a second faster than Grubb that time by. Looks like King is starting to catch Grubb a little bit. We'll see if he's able to make a pass. Get him in second and start chasing down Alonso. like Ford is in 3 of the top 4 spots currently. Come into the hard braking turn 5. Want to make a pass nice and clean here on one of those hard braking turns. Makes it very simple to just drive it in just a little deeper than the car in front and get a better runoff if you can. Like King lost a little bit of time in the middle part of the track. Looks like we have that car threatening that 3rd position. On lap 7, which means we should have pit stops starting soon. First round of pit stops. We'll keep an eye on the pit lane. See if anybody bites on lap 7 versus 8. Sebastian Alonso coming around the final corner now. Wonder if I can... It doesn't look like he's gonna take the bite, but we're gonna have an alternate strategy for Grubb, and looks like Carr gonna take it, and the Avalanche Territory Racing, the second one, is gonna come in. That's gonna be Murphy. I'd say the decision's pretty split up to now. Looks like more people are pitting than not, actually. So looks like from everybody from about 10th on back is gonna pit early. Got the 93 and 2 staying out. It's just a real life driver. Interesting. Looks like McLaughlin had some issues. McLaughlin showing about 50 seconds behind our leader. Not sure what happened. The other way, I think. There we go. The 96 is your gonna be 3rd car out of pit road. Looks like Dave Grubb is gonna have a nice clean track in front for at least a couple seconds anyway. 39 cars just up the road. That doesn't hinder his outlap. We'll see if these guys can get the undercut to work, or maybe McLaughlin just pit the lap prior, because he's cycled in nicely with where he should have been anyway. So I think McLaughlin just pit a lap prior. Sorry to scare you if you're watching there, Mike. I go through the field. Now it's very important for Grubb and Alonso to put up good lap times here. Alonso needs a nice in lap and Grubb needs a nice out lap, and we'll see which strategy is the preferred one at this point. And Alonso's definitely going to come down pit road. I think you can only do about 8 laps, maybe 9 if you really stretch it, but the AI always pit a couple laps early anyway. So Alonso on pit road. '26 will follow. Everybody who didn't pit the last time will be down pit road this time for sure. We should complete our first round of pit stops. Now, if you had a nice lead like Alonso, 4-second lead over second place, this is not a very high risk strategy. You might as well stretch it the extra lap. That just means you take less fuel the next time, and should easily cruise to victory. Can't even see Grubb coming over the hill just as of yet. There he is now. Trying to get a better angle. See if King was able to jump Grubb. Atkinson right on his heel. Looks like King and Atkinson definitely had the better strategy, because Atkinson was... looks like everyone's kind of filing in just where they were. So that was interesting. Atkinson is still fighting for 4th there, but actually Atkinson did make quite a nice leap. Definitely jumped a few drivers. I think he was 8th if I'm not mistaken. before the pit stop. So now he's cycled back down into fifth. Sorry. So he gained about 3 spots on that stop. Definitely an advantage to stay out the extra lap. I guess there's just less traffic, especially on pit road. Pit road was quite busy on lap 7. Allgaier needs to pit. He might have pit earlier for some other reason, so he'll hold up some of these guys. So 17 still hasn't really recovered from his issues near the start of the race. Hope Torres go pretty far down there. No retirements as of yet, except for the 13 car, who didn't even get started. Kind of jumbled up the field coming to the green flag, causes all to go 3 wide, but looks like it's all been Alonso the whole way so far. 9 laps down, coming to lap 10. Sebastian Alonso, easily the most expensive driver available. Hasn't exactly proven to be the best driver yet this season, but he's putting his mouth where his checkbook is now. Finally starting to reap a little bit of rewards for team owner Jess Hanna. Looks like he gained about half a second in that 2-lap stint where the 33 and the 29 were on different strategies. So overall, an excellent stop for this 29 team. 33 doing what he needs to do today. Would like to possibly gain 1 more position, but I'm sure a 2nd place on a road course will be more than appealing for this team. Grubb finishing 2nd at Bristol already to teammate Soto, and looking for another 2nd place here today. Nicholas King being attacked now by Atkinson, who passed Carr. We missed that one. So if McLaughlin is doing this in reverse, looks like he did his 6-lap stint to start things off. So the rest of the race you'll have to do 2 7-lap stints and hopefully gain some position that way. But not a terrible strategy. If you're looking for a nice clean pit road, you'll be out of sync with the rest of the cars. So kind of beats being stuck in traffic like he is now. Strawberry and Carpente seem to be glued to each other this race. I don't think they've left each other's sight since the drop of the green. Matt Moss doing what he's doing on the road courses, just chilling. I think you'll need a caution flag or anything. Him and Torres. Perez as well, and Curtis. All these guys behind here just need a nice quick yellow to potentially gain some more positions, because everything's kind of strung out and spaced out nicely now over this long road course. Looks like there's some damage on John's car on the side. Not sure where he would have gotten that. Likely from another car. There aren't a lot of walls on this track. That will definitely hinder his straight line speed. That's the lucky Avs car, I guess, Grace. It's now they're dominating on this track and they're dominating on the ice lately. It's coming from not an Avs fan. They're just rushing whatever opponent they get. Alonso now nearly 5.5 seconds up on Grubb. I don't think this will be an exciting or close finish like we're used to seeing, but road course races, it's mostly down to driver skill and pit strategy and a little bit of luck if you can get it. About a 3-second gap now from second to third. Looks like Atkinson's dropped some time to King. Are spending all his time in the top 5 so far. Hard to miss that car. Hey, Hustler's racing cars are usually pretty easy to spot on the track, but I think this one probably tops anything Hustler's put on the track. This car has every color you can imagine on it. The Rainbow Warriors 2.0. Alfred Soto's still in the top 10. Gallagher holding the final top 10 spot. Lachlan right behind her. Another Hughes Motorsports car right there, just sniffing at a top 10. There's the final Avalanche Territory Racing car, the Turner Madden, who's only in 14th, so all 3 cars in the top 14 on a road course. That's excellent news. It's kind of a far reach from their truck program, who they're struggling right now. Kind of like the Jarvie Motorsports team. Seem to have a solid Xfinity program, but trucks no good. See Caleb Lane here. T-Mobile Ford. Not a lot of rashing and banging on this one. It's mostly just a survival race here. I have 2 races with very low attrition. One day. Guess it's nice for the team owners to not see their cars all banged up, but not good for ratings, I guess. Alonso now nearly 6.5 seconds up on at 33. Got 7.5 seconds now. Looks like Alonso is just rushing the field. Looks like Grubb's last lap time was a 2:06.3, and Alonso's putting up a 2:05.1. That's only a 10th off his fastest lap. Meanwhile, Grubb is starting to slow down. Looks like King put up a 2:05.3, so it looks like there was some issue with Grubb on that last lap. Lost quite a bit of time to King as well as the leader. Oh, you guys heard that, eh? The sirens, it was a fire truck. I live near a fire hall, so the fact that you guys probably haven't heard a fire truck go by on any of these broadcasts just yet is nothing short of a miracle, because that's all I hear some days. Counterfeit maple syrup. You know what's counterfeit maple syrup? Is the shit you guys eat in the States. Maybe not in Wisconsin. Everywhere else. Think you've had real maple syrup? Guess again. Looks like McLaughlin on that alternate strategy. Looks like he pit on lap 6 again. He's got some hood damage there, so McLaughlin will definitely need a caution to get back in contention. That hood is popped up on that 81 car. This looks to be a terrible race now for McLaughlin. This is not what he wanted to see. Nearing lap 7, or sorry, 14. We got some time before the leaders will come down pit road. I'm gonna go back quickly and see what the heck happened to our boy McLaughlin. Looks like he had damage. It looks like he got damaged once everyone came back out. Nice and clean so far. Got it on lap 8 somewhere. He's right behind Soto, and yeah, it looks like right going into the kink. I guess Soto was just a little slower than him, and yeah, just a little bit of a tap, and that'll do it. Some cars on pit road. We got Wayne King, Liam Tanner. Alonso's coming around the carousel on lap 14, so he'll likely be coming in 2 laps. But we'll have some of the other leaders, like Dave Grubb, coming in this time. Yeah, that is an understatement for sure. The Flow Car team is not having a great day. Earlier in the Truck Series, Carson Hubbard failed to make the race at Martinsville. Then Mike Carroll, and the only entry in that race, blew his engine, finishing dead last. Or second last, I guess. And now McLaughlin getting into a little bit of trouble, and maybe a miscalculation on fuel strategy. Gonna be a poor result for that 81 car. You can see now second place car Dave Grubb coming down pit road for what will be the final stop of his afternoon. Very long pit road, but pit road is about 55 here, so it helps it a little bit. You can easily make a green flag stop here, not even come close to losing a lap, so see what happens. Got a few cars staying out. Looks like the overcut is the way to go this afternoon if you can stretch it that extra lap or two. Even with the fresher tires, it just seems to be a better strategy without the road traffic. Like that number 2 car might hinder Grubb's out lap, but Grubb will have no pressure from behind. He gets his tires back up to temperature. 84 just getting past the 96 or 36 or 39. Sorry. Those 2 cars up. We'll see how this works. Looks like McLaughlin's gonna filter back in behind the 19, but I think that hood damage might cause him to lose a lot of ground, and then he'll likely have to come in for another stop if... Ooh, 61 with Tanner going off track there. Just had a pit stop. Or he just, no, he didn't have a pit stop. Looks like getting involved with Timmy Hill. Here comes our race leader, a lap earlier than I anticipated on lap 15. He'll make the final fuel stretch out 7 laps to the end of this. Sorry, 6 laps. Figured he would have stayed out 1 extra lap and potentially taken less fuel, maybe even 2 tires, who knows. Yeah, looks like he's taking right sides only, because usually they would do the lefts first on this track. 2 tires and fuel, and Alonso is out of here. Looks like all these guys are going to take 2 tires. 48's going to take lefts only, as is the 23. Ponche is going to take lefts only. Looks like that extra lap will cause these guys to save some time. I'm not sure, maybe the 33 only took 2 tires as well. I wasn't really paying attention, but he's lost some time. Yeah, it looks like that extra lap made all the difference now. 26 is well ahead of the 33. We'll see if there's any time advantage. But the 26 is now taking over second with Atkinson in third. All 3 cars in the top 3 only have 2 fresh tires. The 48 only taking lefts, everyone else taking rights. And is there some damage on that 26 car? Looks like I saw some side door damage. Get a better look at that. Won't cause too much of an issue, but left side looks a little crunched in. We're gonna get a good look here. Oh yeah, definitely some damage on that 26 car. See, it's pushed in a little bit. So we'll see if that affects King's straight line speed. Maybe Atkinson can pull out a second place finish here for the Chevys. Pretty much Chevy's only chance to get a good result here. That 33 is closed up quite fast on the 4 of Zane Ross. Or Zach Ross. See what the lap times are like, but it looks like 4 tires are quicker at the moment. See how long that advantage lasts for these guys, but if you're the 29 car and a caution comes out right now, you might be a little nervous. But right now he's got a nice 10-second lead. Alonso can probably put it in cruise control for the rest of the way and just hit your marks. Be fine. See if Atkinson can make anything happen on King where this one's over. I'm not sure which one would be a bigger advantage, lefts or rights. Lefts would be, I guess, better for the carousel, which is the longest turn on the track. But I think there's more right-hand corners. Not sure if it's an optical illusion or not, but that 26 does look like it has some side damage. Zach Ross doing a good job so far, but looks like the 33 is in a little bit of time. Soto trying to back up a nice finish from Bristol. Top 5 might be a little out of reach right now, but might still be able to catch the 84 7th. And Garrett fell way down the running order. Was there an issue with that 4 car? I think he was pretty much where the 33 car was, if I'm not mistaken. Time. Oh no, I'm just crazy. Sorry, I thought... No. Okay. Three with fresh 4 good years. The 18 of Ross only on 2. Looks like we might have a... I thought they were side by side. Gap is nearly 11 seconds for the leader, and if a caution comes out now, that would surely end the race. Fernando Alonso has led every lap so far. I don't think we've had a race where anyone's led every lap. pure dominance right now from that 29 car. From the tail end of the field, Donald not having a great afternoon. Around 30th all day. King also not having an overly great afternoon. I think the biggest disappointment here is Hope Torres, who's been around 30th all day, and her road course abilities, it's terrible to see that 99 car so far back, especially if they've had no issues. The 17 here of Anderson fell back just before the first pit stop, has never really gained his positions back. Matt Moss with Carlos Perez, they've been close together all day, as well as Vince Curtis. Nice little cluster of cars here, but doesn't seem like the passing is happening right now. It looks like that 81 car has dropped back to about 20th. He was fighting for a top 15, top 10 finish. Like he's going to stay out, so maybe not a terrible day after all for McLaughlin if he can keep this top 20. I'd say that's more of a salvage finish, but looks like Cook is going to get the advantage over him because of the arrow. The arrow he's got going on right there in the hood. Looks still side by side with him. Kyle Simpson right behind them to take advantage of any mistakes. I think McLaughlin's going to hold off Cook for now. I would definitely say the overcut was the way to go today. Staying out a little longer. Getting clean air on the track while everyone else is kind of fighting over on pit road. May not be the faster strategy overall, but when you factor in traffic and other variables, it looks like it was the way to go, especially the two-tire stop for the second stop. Huge advantage. Doesn't look like the guys with 4 tires can make up the time deficit. Looks like it's going to be Alonso's race to lose at this point as he comes across lap 14, or sorry, turn 14 on the front stretch for the second last time, about to hit the white flag. This will help his make up some points from his poor performance earlier on this season. White flag for Alonso. King and Atkinson taking the white flag now as well. Take a look at that 81 car, see if yeah, he stayed out, so that's good. He'll be looking to get a top 20 after kind of a miserable afternoon. Slowly fell backwards the whole race. Trying to salvage whatever money and points that he can. See Grubb not able to really make anything happen on Ross, even though Ross took 2 tires. Looks like track position was more important. That's true, Matt. Looks like Atkinson's going to start earning his pay. I think he's probably one of the more expensive drivers in the field as well. Definitely the most expensive on your team. But it's been all Alonso, all race. He can get to the finish line. It'll be the first driver to lead every lap of a single race. And I don't think there was any question his abilities were in doubt from the start of the green flag here. He's pretty much shown that he was the fastest driver. Certainly the most expensive, and on paper he is the most skilled. But it was a big gamble for Jess Hanna to sign this guy. It was a high risk, high reward type situation. He comes around the final corner And Sebastian Alonso's finally going to get his first win in the series and punch his ticket to the postseason. Checkered flag for Alonso. Huge win for this team who struggled early. They definitely deserve some good finishes. They've been starting to get a little bit of momentum. And as we near the halfway, actually now we're at the halfway point of the regular season, it's coming at the right time for this team. They're all starting to click. See the rest of the field starting to take the checkered flag. Like McLaughlin was able to hold off Cook. Completely caution-free race, which a lot of drivers probably would have liked to see one or two cautions, but this was a pure pit strategy and pure driver talent race. No luck involved in this one. It was more interesting than I think people would think for a caution-free race. It's always fascinating to watch these guys go around the road courses. It's a different thing. It mixes it up a little bit. I like it. Looks like no cars lapped down. Looks like Ron Marks was the only DNF who didn't even take the start of the race, blowing an engine right as the engine cranked over. Unfortunate because he was the fastest in practice, but it wasn't meant to be for that guy. But we got Sebastian Alonso in first, Nicholas King second, Mike Atkinson third, Zach Ross fourth. Rounding out the top five is Dave Grubb. I'm sure he'll be a little disappointed with that one, considering he was second up until the final pit stop. Ethan Baker sixth. We got Jamie Carr seventh, Alfred Soto in eighth, Cameron Murphy in ninth, and rounding out the top 10 is Sophie Gallagher. So we'll do the points and we'll figure out who is where. Definitely takes the tree up. I'm not sure how far down Alonso was in the standings, but that'll knock out whoever was 12th, because I'm sure he was lower than that. So it just makes everything a little tighter for the playoff drivers, and can't wait to get things started in 5 races time for the playoffs. It's going to be very juicy and exciting to see how some of these guys go. Of course, you saw what happened last season with Carlos Perez, who dominated the regular season and just failed to show up for the playoffs and cost him a championship. He just got cold at the wrong time, and that's what these playoffs are for. You never really know who's going to win until it's the final lap of Phoenix. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that one. Yeah, that's true. It was the most dominant performance in MOT offline history. We've seen some good races so far. I wouldn't call this one an instant classic, but it definitely was enjoyable for me to broadcast. Hopefully it was for you guys to watch. See the final standings going across the top of your screen there. And I think that's going to do it for me today. Sorry again about the lack of information over the last few days and last races. I'll get back into it this week, but I'll update everything, send out those sponsors to a couple drivers who need it, and hope you guys enjoyed this one. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care.